Yeah, what is good? My anniversary. What is good, guys? I had to use a lightning user and talk about accelerator. Even though not much action happened this week's episode, I was absolutely dying in the case of why these cards were not important at all to all of a sudden the most important thing ever in the world. And not only did they become the most important thing ever, uh, we actually get to see the cards can do some amazing stuff. And I think Mikasa knew that better than anyone when it came down to the girl who learned how to do all those different tricks time and time again, and she was bragging about them to the point where she already knew which tricks she wanted to go back and go to sleep and learn the next time around. So all these things seemingly could probably last forever once you've had these dreams from what we hear from her, that girl. So to think that this ultra bust thing was supposed to actually be real, and just by witnessing the dream, supposedly you get bigger ones, turned into the episode's main focus and had me absolutely rolling all episode, because you kind of forget that the girl who is one of the toughest, who is one of the strictest, who is one of the most focused on doing certain things for people and not so much for herself, probably has some wants and needs of her own, but you kind of forget those things once the show kicks in, I feel like, and then you learn so much about Railgun and how she fights and the stuff she suffers on a daily basis when it comes down to people insulting her or just looking at her and saying things, you know. So to think that she wanted to go this far in to the dream world or the trader world with the cards um, was kind of telling, right? Like, it just goes to show that she is still a girl at heart. She may be ridiculously broken, and she may also have these moments where she just kind of excels in fighting, and you would never think anything else of her. She still has these really, really girly moments that help me see the character as not just like some powerhouse, like I was saying. So it's funny to me to see her just going through all this crap for one ultimate goal, and this same ultimate goal is shared by someone else who actually, the way that they like to handle stuff, they handle things or they go about knowing about certain things much, much differently than each other. But when it comes down to being some of the most undeveloped people in their respected teams, I guess it comes down to now they want their own, happiness in that card that they're looking for, or the card that they heard about, and it got mixed up with all the other ones, which kind of makes me want to slap them in the face, because they themselves knew exactly what type of stuff the card had, and instead of just going and using every silver trim one, which I think there was only one, right? Like, there's only one card that looked remotely like the one that they were actually interested in. But instead, it's almost like they're like, you know what, screw it. Let's just let's just, take all of this right here and just enjoy ourselves. We don't have to just jump to the one that we know it's gonna be. And since we know it's going to be a silver trim one, let's just go through all of this and get our money's worth. That's what it felt like to me. Because if I knew it's a silver one, imagine having like a trading card game come out and the booster packs are blue, red, orange, and the one that you know has some of the best cards in it is a silver. It has a silver lining, a silver pack. are you going to be one of those people that just continues to make your way to it, or are you one of those people that see it, know that there's greatness in it, and jump to it, right? Like, you want to see what is in there, not wait for whatever else is around. And then you got to remember that it is a show, it's a TV show, it's an anime. So, of course, they're not just going to give me what I would have wanted to see, or whatever the main girl, like, Railgun, wanted to see, and this Ultra girl. It's almost like this is like a punishment or something. Like, you do not deserve to pass with big breasts. I don't know what the heck is the reasoning behind them having such bad luck getting this one thing that they wanted, and why it was so funny for me. Um, but it happens, I guess, like, they straight up did not even get a chance to really have a glimpse of what it looks like, even in the grand scheme of not knowing where the card had gone, thinking about taking out the guy who was trading all of those cards in the first place for making up such a story, and none of the cards even uh, that he had existed with that type of thing. And then the girls who did witness it didn't even know this girl had small ones to begin with. So it's one of the examples of the curiosity can kill the cat, and these girls were so curious that they died multiple upon multiple times trying to just see what it might be like if they actually had that, which in hindsight would have been a pretty big character design change for Mitsuka, and she would have looked a lot different from all of her sisters. So it's more or less the reason why they didn't get it. They didn't want to have to keep animating these characters with the new added additions, so they were just like, you know what? Let's make sure they lose. We can add that girl with the added additions because we only see her once, and then the second time we see her, she has some improvements. So I'm definitely dying this whole episode when I'm watching it, especially when they're going through all the dreams and all of them are just disgustingly trash to them, and they have to deal with the people in the dreams or the people that had the dreams in the first place, so they're just in the position of them. And yeah, there's some amazing funny moments in here, but like I was not expecting with the show. I expected another arc to kick off and us to watch more people kind of show up and try to do evil things, but they're taking it a lot easier, which I did not expect. So I'm kind of guessing it's not for everyone, seeing how two other shows are doing filler right now, and people are almost like mad at me for enjoying the characters on screen, just being on screen. It's like, oh, so I can't enjoy it. I should hate the filler and lie, and then when the good stuff comes out, I should kind of like it, but not overhype it. Like, nah, bro. Like, you're on the wrong channel if you think I'm going to change my opinions or even try to hate something when I actually don't, just to make my videos not get dislikes or to agree with the masses. I don't care. So regardless, this episode was pretty funny. I enjoyed it a lot, seeing just where the mind is of this girl at Railgun, and it's gonna make a lot more sense if she shows up in the other show and she's offered milk and she slaps the heck out of Toma. We'll see what happens. All right, everybody, take care. In peace. I am your boy, Anime G, and I shouldn't have picked a fight with the light user. He's just too strong. Alright, later.